Our Wall of Honor celebration for 2017, and thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Steve Smoot. I'm the Vice President for the South Region and CEO of Utah Valley Hospital. Tonight is a tradition that I've actually been able to be a part of since the beginning in 2008, when our medical staff leaders at the time realized that we weren't doing a very good job of recognizing physicians as they retired for all the incredible work that they do here at Utah Valley Hospital and in Utah County. And we have an amazing medical staff, the very best in the world practice here in Utah County. And those of you who are being recognized tonight are part of that amazing group of individuals. So thank you for joining us to help celebrate the lives of these physicians. I'd like to welcome all of our executives from the medical staff committees, from our EC, Executive Committee for the hospital, and those physicians who are honoring today. Thank you for joining us. Today is actually Doctor's Day, and it's not a coincidence. We have decided that we would do that every year and use the opportunity when we celebrate physicians to celebrate those who have retired from our medical staff as well. So we're excited to combine this with Doctor's Day. So hug your doctor today, thank them for what they do. We appreciate them for all of their wonderful service. This Wall of Honor recognizes those physicians, as I mentioned, who have been in service at Utah Valley Hospital for at least 20 years, or in some of our sad cases may have passed away while they were in service. And we've had a couple of physicians who we've had to have leave us in some of those situations. So that's how they're honored and put on this wall today. I hope that you'll take the opportunity to get reacquainted with some physicians that you may know as you walk across this wall. And I will tell you, it's very common to see folks who are standing here and reading that. You may know we're under construction, so there's not a lot of traffic here right now, but normally this is a main thoroughfare, and it will be in the new hospital as well, where a lot of traffic will be coming back and forth between the various parts of the hospital, and they'll stop and recognize our wonderful physicians and our wonderful physician community. So let me, before I announce the rest of the agenda, just express my appreciation to the five of you, actually, four are here, that we'll be honoring tonight. Many of you I know, and I just appreciate the service that you've provided. I especially have a personal relationship with Dr. Scow, who's an incredible orthopedic surgeon on our hospital staff. He and I met early on as he served as one of our trauma providers, which means that when a patient had a very serious injury, 24 hours a day, holidays, whatever it might be, if Dr. Scow was on, he needed to come in and take care of those patients, and he did an amazing job. And I just want to express my appreciation to him for the incredible care that he did. I want to express my appreciation for Dr. Reese, one of our wonderful OBGYNs who helped set the amazing, I think you all get that we have a lot of babies in Utah County. In fact, compared to our peers around the country, most hospitals, that may be 15 to 20% of the business. It's a third of what we do here. And we have some wonderful OBGYNs who practice in this community, and Dr. Reese is a wonderful example of the kind of skills and wonderful treatment that our patients deserve. And then I had two individuals. I write a blog for the hospital, and I talked about Doctor's Day today, and I invited some folks to share some thoughts, if they had them, about those physicians who are retiring. And I had just a couple that I wanted to read, if you'll bear with me. The first one is about Dr. Gifford. And this is from Eileen Barney. It said, "I had the privilege of taking two of my children to Don Gifford when they were small. He was so wonderful to them and me," she says in parentheses, "and made them feel so comfortable in the dentist office. Dentistry can make a small child feel so frightened, and he and his staff made it feel like a small party, and the child was the guest of honor. Thank you, Dr. Gifford." I thought that was really sweet. And then our final one is for Dr. Michelik, one of our wonderful pediatricians in the community. And this is from Laurie DeHaas. And she says, "I started taking my oldest daughter to Dr. Michelik when she was born. He was a brand new physician, and I was worried about that at first, but he quickly put me at ease with his expertise and loving and caring personality. I have recommended him many times over the years, and friends have always been happy with his care. I know we are losing a fabulous doctor, but I am so grateful that my children have the best care in the Valley. So let's express our appreciation real quick for those physicians. So it's now my honor to introduce the final two individuals who will be on our program tonight. First of all will be Dr. Bigler. Dr. Bigler is our Chief Medical Officer, which means that he spends the bulk of his time now working primarily with our administrative team and managing medical staff affairs. We worked many years as an OBGYN and in leadership in our operating room here in the hospital. A wonderful physician. I'll turn the time over to him to share some thoughts about these physicians as he's known them over the years. And then after Dr. Bigler, we'll invite Dr. Grossbeck up to the podium. So Dr. Bigler, thank you.
Actually, I'm going to start out by introducing Dr. Grossbeck, because if I don't, I'll forget, and then my wife will reprimand me on our way home. I've known Phil Grossbeck for many years. He's one of our anesthesiologists. He is our elected medical staff president. We also have the medical staff past president here. John Mitchell, do you want to just stand up and wave to folks? John is one of our cardiothoracic surgeons, so apparently to become medical staff president, you have to in some way be connected to the OR. Phil is our current elected medical staff president. He'll be speaking to you in a bit. I'll just say that Phil is probably, it must be in the name Phil because he reminds me of Phil Freestone. Kind and gentle and soft-spoken. He's one of the kindest souls that I know. And so I think he's actually presiding at this event tonight, and Steve Smoot's conducting, which I think makes me the youth speaker. I've got to say that, but I went through, this is kind of a time of mixed emotions for me. All these guys that are being honored tonight are my colleagues, my contemporaries. What am I doing up here? I should be down there. I looked at every plaque on the wall earlier, about maybe 20 minutes ago, and realized that a grand total of 3 of them were doctors that I did not work with. And I still kind of feel like the new kid on the block. Anyway, some comments about some of these docs that I'm very familiar with. First, Doug Scow. Doug, like Steve Smoot mentioned, is one of our great orthopedic surgeons. Worked with him when I was OR medical director for about 12 years. I also had the privilege of taking care of his wife, Anita, when I was an OBGYN doc. That was a great privilege. Not only is Doug a fine orthopedic surgeon, I'm going to say something that I'm not sure he even knows. He has a very deep bass resonant voice, and there have been times when for example, our group of orderlies have had competitions to see who could do the best Doug Scow imitation or impersonation. I think I do a pretty good one, but I'm not going to do it tonight. Don Gifford, interestingly enough, there are probably some physicians who feel a little bit nervous if they get a call and a request to come and visit with me as the chief medical officer. I get a little bit nervous if I get a call to come and visit with Don Gifford because he's my bishop currently. He lives just down the street from me. And I really enjoyed that little brief comment or letter that Steve Smoot read, because Bishop/Dr. Gifford is another kindly soul. He has taken care of one of our daughters. Our daughter was born with some supernumerary teeth in the roof of her mouth, and Don Gifford took those out, and as far as we can tell, she lived to tell about it. So, the Giffords live just a block away down the street from us. We've known them and loved them for many years. And I am quite envious of Don getting to retire, but on the other hand, he's a bishop, so maybe I got the better deal after all. Steve Reese. Steve, you and I go clear back to residency, don't we? It just seems like yesterday we were playing golf on cheap golf courses right kind of off the Black Canyon Freeway, doesn't it? Steve and I trained together in OBGYN in Phoenix at Good Samaritan Hospital. Now it's Banner Healthcare System. Steve was a year ahead of me, so he basically taught me all I know, or at least a good share of what I know. He's got a son who's also has followed in his footsteps. He's a great OBGYN doc. None of my kids went into medicine, so I think I taught my kids better than you taught yours, Steve. But all of these docs have left, I mean, nobody knows better than another physician the blood, sweat, and tears that docs leave in the hallways of this hospital. The long nights, the surgeries that maybe didn't go the way you wanted them to go, the sweating bullets over a tough delivery at 3 o'clock in the morning. Nobody knows those kind of experiences except for another doc who's lived through them. So I have great admiration, great respect for these doctors who have left their blood, sweat, and tears in this hospital, and I think their DNA will be here for a long, long time. Finally, just a comment about Dr. Michalek. Strange to me, he's a pediatrician, and in my career as an OBGYN doc, I kind of worked somewhat with very many pediatricians, but I didn't know Dr. Michalek, but he stated to me, I think it's a very true statement tonight, that we wanted him here because his picture is a very handsome picture. And indeed it is. So anyway, it's a great experience, great honor, great privilege to be here and to honor these physicians who have spent a large share of their life serving others. I think it's hard to be a physician without loving your patients, and I'll bet you that every one of these doctors have loved their patients. I have a definition of what I feel to be genuine love. It's the best definition I've heard, and it, I think, encompasses every form and type and variety of love you want to talk about. And that is, genuine love is when your happiness is necessary for my happiness. I think these physicians who are retiring tonight have been great examples of that. And I think we should also spend just a moment and recognize and honor the sacrifices and the time that their spouses and their family have given up, nights and days and holidays and weekends that they would have liked to be with their spouse or their father or their brother. So if you'll join me in a little bit of applause for these doctors again as well. Phil, I think my 2.5 minutes are up, so it's you.
Hello, I'm Phil Grossbeck. I'm the current medical staff president of the hospital here. And I too am honored to be here and to be a part of this. I look up at this wall and I too see many people that I've known. I've anesthetized. I did a block on his shoulder, Dr. Hooker. I work with Dr. Gammett all the time, Dr. Terry, Dr. Steffens. I've known many of these people. One of my dear colleagues, Dr. Neil Dobson, was one of the first plaques that went up on the wall, and I'll never forget him. He asked me to do his anesthesia for a knee scope, and we put a spinal in, and he stayed awake the whole time. He just watched the screen and laughed and joked the way only Neil could. And then afterwards, he was waiting for his wife to pick him up. He was going up and down the hallway in his wheelchair. And it was just I have that vivid memory. And then 3 days later, to hear my dear partner was in the emergency room with a pulmonary embolus, and it ended up being the cause of his death. Tragic. And the emptiness that we felt afterwards as a group and as a hospital was one of the things that led us to, what can we do to honor physicians, people who have been here and practiced and left behind a legacy, but then they're just gone and there's nothing that we really have to honor them. And that kind of was the impetus for this wall. But I'm pleased and honored to be a part of it. Yeah. How privileged we have been to associate with good people, with good doctors, with good physicians of amazing caliber on a daily basis. This wall is, in a very small way, a way that we can honor the men and women of our medical community for the tremendous commitment that they have made to their patients and the community, and for their many years of service. And like Steve said, although not honored on the wall specifically, I know that behind each and every physician or dentist up there, there was an equally supportive family, is a family. A spouse that understood when the phone rang at 3 a.m. that her husband was needed by another person that needed his skills. A boy who knew that his dad or mom wasn't at his Little League game, not because he didn't want to be there, but because he was helping someone else, and that was a part of his job. Or a daughter who knew that even though Daddy wasn't at the dance recital, he still loved her, but right now he was needed by another, and that was part of his job. So although the physician is the only one listed on the plaque, please accept our thanks and know of our deep respect and sacrifice that the families and spouses have made for these physicians and providers. There are those that may feel that the profession of physician has become less noble of late because of changes in the profession, changes in our modern world in politics, and the reimbursement schemes, in the law of the land, in the insurance industry. But I would say that the fundamental root of medicine today continues, as it has from antiquity, to be a dedication to the healing of the one. And we as physicians have the honor and the privilege of being those healers, of dedicating our lives to taking care of the sick and the needy, no matter what the situation. So to me, how can a life spent dedicated to the service of others, dedicated to healing, dedicated to making people better, be any less noble because of the modern trappings that medicine has developed? The role of physician to me is as noble as ever, and we are privileged to do what we do. I hope you, as retirees, look back on your careers with a certain fondness in your heart, that for the time that you have spent here practicing this noble art in our community. As a medical staff, we thank you with all our hearts for the time, commitment, and professionalism that you've shared with the community and with this hospital. I want to read the names of each physician provider who will be added to the wall, and we ask that the physician or a family member will come forward to receive a small plaque, which is a replica of the plaque which will be on the wall. So I think first we have Dr. Don Gifford. This is Don's wife. We have Dr. George Michelet.
You'll handsome up the picture.
Dr. Stephen Reese. And Dr. Douglas Scow.
Why don't you
Come
do
up,
it,
get a picture of you, like we did for everyone. You sure?
Go, Kathy, go.
Thank you very much.
Phil, thank you. Let's give Phil a round of applause. So thank you again for joining us this evening. We hope you'll take a moment, and this has been a bit of a tradition. We'll move the chairs out of the way. We'll have some people there to help you take these pictures. Put your family up next to the plaque, take a picture so you have it for memory, and then we have some refreshments available for you right around the corner here in the lounge. Stay as long as you want, mingle, just enjoy yourselves this evening, but we are at the conclusion of our program tonight. So thank you for being with us, and please join me one more time. Let's give a round of applause for all of these wonderful people. Thank you, everybody.
Lisa, may I ask what your unbiased opinion of Dr. Gifford is or was?
Put me on the spot. He is the best of the best. You can't find a better guy.
Of course, and because you've worked for them all, so you can say he is the best. How about you? What do you have to say for good old Dr.
He's
Don?
the best doctor ever. Yeah. Wish he was here.
Yeah.
Everybody, actually.
So what do you have to?
Picture of everybody.
I will.